It has been termed as one of the most tightly contested elections ever in the history of Malaysia, the mother of all battles. GE13, which is expected to take the country by storm, expects major surprises in terms of candidacy, winners and losers. I'm Anne Edwards. Thank you so much for joining us on GE13, the Showdown. With me is Ong Kian Ming, who is DAP election strategist.
Thanks for having me, Anne.
Why is DAP only contesting in Chinese majority seats?
Actually, I think that's a misconception because DAP has traditionally contested in all sorts of seats, Chinese majority as well as Malay majority seats. And now, this time in this election, we will be contesting in some Kadazan as well as some Iban majority seats as well. So for example, in Sarawak, we are going to contest in the Iban majority seat of Bintulu. Likely going to be contesting in the Iban majority seats of Mas Gading, of Kapit as well. And in Peninsular Malaysia, we'll be competing in the Malay majority seat of Raub. So it is a misconception to say that DAP only contests in Chinese majority seats.
Is DAP taking up only Chinese issues? That's also the other.
Yeah, I think that's another gross misconception because if you look at the statement of our leaders, we've always stood for democratic principles. And our leaders have always propagated issues that are of interest to Malaysians regardless of race, religion. So, even if you look at the record of our state leaders now in Penang and Selangor, we've, I think, put forth policies and implemented policies that are fair and equitable to all races and all religions.
DAP is multiracial. Are you only limiting yourselves to just 50 seats? Why not increase it to 80 seats?
Yeah, I think this is one of the strengths of the Pakatan Rakyat Coalition, in a sense that we have very detailed negotiations and sometimes heated negotiations over the number of seats that each party will contest. And we are probably going to contest in somewhere between 50 to 60 seats. That's still more than some of the second largest component party within the Barisan Nasional, which is MCA, which contested only in 40 seats in the last round. So we are fine with getting 50 to 60.
Perception also has it that PAS and also PKR does not trust DAP to stand in other areas, only Chinese majority areas. What do you say to this?
Actually, that has never been further from the truth. I think within the context of negotiations within all three parties, we acknowledge that there are strengths and weaknesses on all parties. And we also see that each party has been making strides into areas which they were formerly weak in, together with the help of the respective coalition partners. So DAP has been making strides in many Malay areas as well as Kadazan, as well as Iban areas, and I think PAS has also been making strides into some of the Chinese or non-Malay majority areas. So it's a very cohesive working relationship within Pakatan Rakyat.
Speaking of inroads, DAP's chances into Johor. Yeah, what are their chances?
I think our leader, parliamentary leader Lim Kit Siang, has made a bold move in wanting to create a Johor tsunami by standing in the Gelang Patah constituency, and that he has been followed by Liu Chin Tong, the incumbent MP for Bukit Bendera. So I think we are definitely serious about wanting to make inroads in Johor. I think our coalition partners in Pakatan, PAS and PKR, have also named high-profile candidates to contest in Johor. And I think this means that we see our chances as being pretty good, and we hope to be able to break through the safe deposit of Johor in the next general election.
Before we take our first short break, Kit Siang, now how is his chances in garnering the Malay votes in Gelang Patah? 53% of those votes, and how sure is he that he will secure Chinese votes?
Actually, that's probably a wrong statistic. Gelang Patah is 54% Chinese. The percentage of Malay voters is actually less than 40%. But all voters are important to Pakatan Rakyat. And I think it's not a matter of just Kit Siang garnering the Malay votes. It's a matter of how Pakatan Rakyat as a coalition, together with DAP, together with PAS and PKR, wins voters of all races and not just depend on Chinese, Indian or Malay voters alone.
After a break, we'll be right back with Ong Kian Ming, DAP election strategist. Stay with us. Thanks for staying with us. We've been talking to Mr. Ong Kian Ming, who is DAP election strategist.
I'm actually Dr. Ong Kian Ming. I don't really like titles, but since you refer to me as Mr. Yeah, Doctor
sure.
would be more appropriate since I do have a PhD.
Okay. And speaking of that, any regrets giving up or academics and putting politics above academics, Doctor?
No regrets for now. I think it's been much more hectic in being in politics compared to being in academia. But academia is always something I can return to later. And I hope that whatever I do in the political sphere would be able to help me in my academic research later on.
Coming back to Johor, Party has said that once Johor is taken over, PAS will be MB. Why can't DAP propose a Malay candidate instead?
Yeah, I think this is the good thing about Pakatan Rakyat, because we have a consensus in terms of selecting the candidates of who will become Menteri Besar. And the consensus is generally the party that contests in the most number of seats in a particular state would have one of its candidates be named as Menteri Besar. In the case of PAS, they are going to contest in the most number of seats, more than DAP, more than PKR. So it's only natural that someone from PAS should be named as MB designate for Pakatan in Johor.
From Johor to Penang, in Penang everybody says DAP will win. What happens if PKR does not secure Malay seats? Will DAP go it alone as a minority state government, or will DAP team up with Barisan Nasional component parties to remain in power in the state of Penang?
Yeah, I think we have not had a history of any party ruling as a minority government in Malaysia, either at the state or federal level. If let's say Pakatan as a whole wins fewer than 50% of the seats, it means that BN would rule. If the question of whether DAP would join or ask any of the BN component parties in Penang to join us, I think it's a non-starter. We are committed to working with PKR and PAS in the coalition, and and we are also confident that not just PKR but PAS will be able to deliver more seats in the next general election in Penang.
I'm not sure if you've read the front page of the Star. PAS wants lion's share. Okay, will DAP and PAS be able to rule any state without PKR being the so-called middleman or glue?
Yeah, I think that's an excellent question. I mean, it's obviously a star headline which gets played up a little bit. If you look at the past election in 2008 in terms of distribution of seats, the beauty of Pakatan is that no one party actually can rule alone, either at the state or federal level. If let's say PAS doesn't want PKR or DAP to help them in one state, it means that in other states they would also not be part of the state governments and at the national level the federal government. In terms of the allocation of seats, the party that will get the largest number of federal seats will be PKR. That was the case in 2008. It will be the case again in 2013. At the state level, PAS would probably get the most state seats, followed by PKR and then DAP. But we actually have a very good balance and distribution of seats within Pakatan, unlike in Barisan Nasional, where UMNO dominates both at the state and the federal level.
Word has it that you will be contesting in Seputi, right? Which has been held for 3 terms by Teresa Kok, and word also has it that she's not willing to give up that seat. Where will you be going?
My stand has always been I'm open to contesting in any seat that the party leadership allocates to me, and the party leadership would make an announcement probably pretty soon about where I will stand if I'm going to be standing as a candidate. So I'm open to standing. The party leadership will make the announcement soon.
One last question, since we do have time. We heard that the opposition has been training professionals to provoke and create chaos to disrupt polling stations, and this is part of the effort to discredit Barisan Nasional. Is this true?
That's very far from the truth. I think the way I go about doing this is to provide news and information in terms of problems in the electoral roll, for example. And I think we continue to pressure the SPR to clean up the electoral roll. Pakatan does not stand for and does not accept any political violence done by anyone, whether it's on the BN or on the side of Pakatan or on the part of other parties.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ong Kian Ming, who is election strategist for DAP. I'm Anne Edwards. This has been GE13, the Showdown. Bye-bye.